Let's watch the trailer for Path of Exile, Trial of the Ancestors.
Teraz zaczynamy jedyneczkę. Nowa liga.
They thirst for battle. They yearn to prove themselves. Welcome to the halls of the dead. Earn your place among us.
Ładnie to wygląda.
Under Arkadikuss's watchful eye, test your mettle against the greatest warriors who ever lived.
Okej.
Prove yourself.
Czyli to jest ta figura, co stała też na początku, okej. Skorpion, to, jeśli mogę, to później. Albo wiesz co, wejdź na kanał Pidzam. P-I-D-S-A-M i on wyjaśnia fabułę. I lepiej niż ja to zrobię teraz na czacie. New Atlas Keystones. Nice. Przegadałem i nie wiedziałem, co tam pokazali wcześniej tak naprawdę. Guardian Revamped. Okej. All New Chieftain. Okej. Zobaczymy, co nam powiedzą o tym. Czy to się na tym skończy. 18. August 18. O! Nie pogram! Albo pogram. Zależy, jak Ala będzie spała tak naprawdę. To już po najpóźniejszym terminie, po narodzinach. Słuchajmy.
You will journey to the afterlife, assemble your own team, and enter the tournament to battle those chieftains and earn valuable rewards. As you play through areas in the Ancestor Challenge League, you'll find tradable silver coins. Using them will take you to the Kurui
Co, wykorzystają Perandusa?
who you may remember from the Prophecy League.
O, faktycznie to ona, ja dopiero teraz poznałem, jakiś ciemny jestem.
You start the tournament with a basic team consisting of 3 warriors.
Po głosie powinienem ją
The tournament
poznać.
is double elimination, meaning you're allowed to have one loss without consequence. A second loss eliminates you from the tournament. Your team will compete against 10 other tribes, and you choose who you're going to challenge next out of the teams left in the tournament. When you start a match, you see the configuration of the enemy team and get to place your team of warriors on the battlefield to challenge theirs. You and your party of exiles will play alongside your warriors. So while this league does have many elements of an auto-battler, you're right there fighting alongside them. During a match, when a warrior dies, they respawn at their totem after a short time. If their totem is destroyed, then they are instantly killed and can't respawn.
No to już widzę jakieś takie bardziej dopracowane mechanika, nie? Wow.
If you're playing a hardcore character though, don't worry. Hinekora, the goddess of death, is watching over you and will restore your soul to your body, so you can't permanently die in the afterlife.
Miło dla hardkorowców. Całych 4.
Like that. In the Trial of the Ancestors, strategy and tactics are key. Every unit has its own strengths and weaknesses that must be utilized to win matches. The turtle is really slow and really tanky. It's perfect for either defensive positioning to stop flankers or offensive positioning to tank hits for you if you're pushing through the middle. It's not great in the center or flank positions due to its slow movement speed. The Tuatara is a quick and deceptive unit, which is relatively well balanced for all positions.
Takie połączenie trochę heistu z Katariną, tak? Z Betrayal. Masakra. O Boże, i to jeszcze z areną co było. A mam dziurę w głowie.
You can also allocate it to defenses so that it disrupts
Trial
enemies that
Master.
are trying to kill your totems by stunning them. So in this match here, we've set up a Tuatara in a flanking position, a turtle on defense to guard our totems, and a Goliath to follow us as we attack up the middle.
The fuck?
Our plan is to work with the Goliath to distract the enemy front line so the flanking Tuatara can get through and destroy some of their totems.
W co my gramy? Co?
Teamwork. Upon winning a match, you earn favor and other rewards. I'll talk about the other rewards shortly. There are a lot.
Jest jeszcze większa zmiana rozgrywki niż chociażby w Blajcie, nie? W Blajcie mimo wszystko siekałeś potwory, a tutaj grasz w jakieś Pokemony, szachy. Co?
Each tribe has specific specialities. For example, Hinakora's tribe manipulates life and death. Rongo Kurai's tribe is slow and tanky, with an emphasis on stuns and knockbacks. You can recruit warriors from many
trochę takie
tribes
pet
and
battlegrounds
mix
z
them
WoWa.
into your team based on what you need. Field items are items that are placed on the battlefield and can be activated during the match to, for example, revive a warrior or heal your entire team. If a field item isn't consumed within a match, it persists on to the next match. But your warriors, their equipment, and your field items are all wiped between tournaments. You enter each tournament fresh. Your success in a tournament updates your overall ranking, which helps you in better rewards and subsequent ones. Speaking of rewards, let's discuss the good parts.
Prawda jest taka, że znowu będzie trzeba obejrzeć 30 różnych poradników, żeby w ogóle wyczaić, jak w to grać, nie? W tym momencie, w tą mechanikę, nie? Ekstra! Nagrodami są tatuaże, które mogą zastąpić takie zwykłe puste pasywki, jak na przykład plus 10 do Dexa, że właśnie, plus 8 do Fire Resistance, plus 2 do Increase Movement Speed. Super! Wow!
This process can transform what your attribute skills on the passive tree do, basically the attribute highway nodes generally. The regular ones can only be applied to basic attribute.
I nagle te takie puste momenty, puste strefy w drzewku, które były też narzekane, że służą do tego, żeby gdzieś dojść, nagle są potrzebne i nagle są bardzo użyteczne w tym momencie. What the fuck?
This one converts a small intelligence skill into additional lightning damage. And this one converts a small strength skill into one that summons a minion when you take a savage hit from a unique enemy. But don't go overboard on the number of skills you convert with tattoos, as you'll probably need at least some of your attributes left to equip items.
Super. Znowu taki przytyk w Diablo 4, gdzie te mniejsze glify, znaczy w drodze do glifów masz puste statystyki, a tu teraz każda statystyka będzie liczona. Każda!
As you can see, it grants an immense amount of life for a single item, providing you don't have any life on any other.
Czekam, jestem ciekawy jak wyjdzie, wiesz?
While this is tricky to accomplish, it also frees up all those other potential life slots to be something else that benefits your build, making it pure upside.
Okay.
This amulet is a unique item you can earn by defeating the Arohongui tribe.
Nie przyjrzałem się dobrze.
It has the powerful effect of causing your flasks to instantly recover life and mana whenever you're low. This could potentially be a powerful panic button, or maybe you want to build around permanently being on low life or mana, so all of your flask usage is instant.
Okej. Więc oni nawet pozwalają zepsuć grę po prostu, nie? To jest to. Można mieć Blood Mage'a, tylko że... Ale nie, to jest life flask i mana flask, okej, nieważne.
Three additional exclusive items. Let's have a look at some of the things you may be offered. First up, there are 4 unique items that exclusively come from Hinokora for completing the tournament. This belt, for example, lists a plethora of really
unikat, który można dostać jako nagroda i co 5 sekund dostajesz albo zawsze kryty, albo zawsze ty dostaniesz kryty. Attacks cannot hit you, attacks against you always hit, czyli plusy i minusy. Tylko RNG będzie wygrywało, nie? Okay. Notable. Plus 1 to all intelligence. Wow. I takie coś wrzucić na... tak jak ja gram Toxic Rainem i Caustic Arrow, dla mnie perfekcyjny tatuaż. In this case, when you reach 25% life, your flasks are all replenished. Now don't worry, each player can only consume 1 omen per combat area, so you don't have any reason to fill your entire inventory with them. This one creates a portal on death. We made it for me. It won't try to save your life, but it will save you some time. This one grants you Soul Eater when you level up. It's definitely worth carrying around for that occasional massive power boost. Okay. Omens are tradable but hard to get, so use them carefully. I shudder to think about how much this one is going to be unique if possible. Okay, wow, okay. Blood Mage'a będziemy szukać, nie?
Back in the day, when we had stuff like the prophecy and so on that let you upgrade to rare forcibly on a specific base type, we had to block the good items by putting crap uniques on the, sorry, I meant upgrade to unique. We put crap uniques on that base type so that you couldn't get it every time. Well, we stopped doing that, so a lot of the uniques that were upgraded in 320 are just the only thing on the base type. So items like this let you deterministically get something quite valuable.
Super, naprawdę w fajną stronę idą. Wow.
The most exciting one though. Finally, Hinokura can offer you a lock of her hair. This is a very special currency item that lets you foresee the result of using another currency item to craft something. This means, for example, you can know whether it's worth exalting your item because you'll know exactly what the outcome is. Hinokura's lock will slot into your crafting pipeline with powerful consequences. The Trial of the Ancestors offers a wide selection of valuable.
Używając tego przedmiotu, nie możesz spojrzeć w przyszłość i zobaczyć, jaki będzie efekt, jeżeli na przykład użyjesz Exalteda, na przykład na itemie i tak dalej. Więc jeżeli wiesz, że dostaniesz krapa, to tego nie używasz po prostu. Ale teraz jest pytanie, czy to zablokuje ten stat, tak czy siak? Ale to można robić wtedy trapa na trade'a, nie?
This expansion is no exception. I'm going to explain the other changes in a medium amount of detail. I'm conscious that we have both new and existing players. For new players, I'm going to try to include some extra content to help make the changes more understandable. You can find out all the detail in the patch notes and other information we'll be posting in the few weeks before release.
Jasne.
Let's start with how the Trial of the Ancestors expansion expands Path of Exile's endgame. In December last year, we released an expansion called The Forbidden Sanctum, which introduced the Sanctum Challenge League.
Właśnie w to Sanctum nie grałem, tak.
This was a roguelike game set within Path of Exile, where you would randomly explore a randomly generated sanctum one room at a time, alongside your regular play. You'd pick which rooms you wanted to explore out of several options, and accumulate beneficial boons and detrimental afflictions that made your run easier and harder, respectively. Not only did Sanctum work really well as a league, but it also had the potential to be
No Sanctum było bardzo chwalone. Trochę żałuję, że nie grałem.
Endgame content, alongside systems like mapping, delve, and heist. Well, in this expansion, the Forbidden Sanctum is back.
Będę mógł spróbować. Nice, Sanctum wraca. Fajnie. Sanctum to core.
I've really been looking forward to this one. We're reintroducing the Sanctum as core content in Path of Exile's endgame. You'll initially meet Divinia, the Sanctum NPC, in Act 10. Sanctums are now tradable items that you can find while playing maps in the endgame. A forbidden tome represents a whole floor of the sanctum.
Nie grałem w Sanctum, więc się nie wypowiem tak naprawdę, nie? Ale myślę, że quality of life, nie? Trochę jak z labiryntami w Lake of Calandra.
This means that the item stores what boons and afflictions you had, what rewards you've locked in, and how much resolve you have left. You can then either play this floor or trade it to someone else if it feels more beneficial. For example, let's say you manage to lock in a really valuable reward. The example here is a Mirror of Calandra, but you'll also notice that... Do I have a laser pointer? It doesn't work on the board. Okay, one resolve. This is an example here where the player has a very good reward locked in, but a massive pile of dangerous afflictions and only one resolve on them.
Okay.
If you don't feel capable of completing the rest of the Sanctum from this point, then it would normally be a write-off, right? If you gave this to me, no way am I getting that mirror. But you can now trade the Sanctum state to someone else who is willing to pay for the chance to earn the mirror, or lose it. And you can look at expected value in economics, right? It's worth some percentage of that mirror. So you trade it for like 5 chaos to someone, they run it and lose their chaos. Your relics, which act as passive bonuses within the
to jest coś, co po prostu dla mnie to jest takie bla bla bla, bo nie grałem w Sanctuma, nie?
Speaking of relics, they're now tradable and have been rebalanced around this. To those of you wondering, we have decided against bringing back sanctified relics for now. A complete Sanctum run now requires killing the final boss, Lycia, in both her first and second form. She will always drop a unique relic, and these have been reworked and replaced as we rebalanced everything. An important aspect of the new Sanctum balance is that your primary defenses now have some effect on protecting your resolve.
Okay.
Your armor allows you to mitigate resolve loss, and your evasion grants you a chance to avoid resolve loss entirely, a lot like how armor and evasion work. Your energy shield grants you Resolve Aegis, which is a mechanic that works similarly to how energy shield.
Za bardzo skupione troszeczkę na tym Sanctumie w tym momencie. Dla mnie po prostu mówię, bo nie grałem. Powtarzam to już 4. raz pewnie.
We've added new boons and afflictions themed around the new defensive mechanics and have rebalanced many of the other ones. Like other optional endgame systems that involve tradable items, players who don't want to play Sanctum can trade their Sanctums to other players in exchange for an item or currency that benefits them more. Successful Sanctum play can generate a lot of rewards. It'll potentially be possible to build characters dedicated to Sanctum running and just farm Sanctums repeatedly in order to profit. Sanctum isn't the only improvement that Trial of the Ancestors brings to Path of Exile's endgame. We're also introducing 16
Jestem
new
ciekawy tych właśnie nowych
Atlas
keystone'ów.
to the Atlas passive tree. As a quick summary for new players joining us, the Atlas tree is a system that allows you to customize your endgame experience in Path of Exile. As you complete different maps, you gain skill points that can be allocated in the tree. You could use these points to modify the behavior of different content you encounter in in-game maps to make it more difficult or more rewarding, or to behave entirely differently. The system allows you to double down on the content you enjoy and avoid content you don't. Keystones are really impactful passives that totally change your endgame
Growing
system's
Horse, ja tego
behavior.
używałem, akurat to poświęca skaradę, nie?
Usually they have an element of give and take, and
Bardzo fajna
require you
rzecz.
to come up with new strategies to take advantage of them. Each of these 16 new Atlas Keystones changes how you
Dokładnie.
might interact with Path of Exile's endgame. Let's have a look at some of them now. We will reveal the rest of them before the release of Trial of the Ancestors in a few weeks. Extreme Archaeology completely changes how you play expedition encounters. Instead of placing a series of regular explosives, you now place one gigantic explosive. Every single chest or monster in the blast radius is affected by every remnant in that radius.
Nice! Wow! Bardzo fajna zmiana. Ja już to biorę, ja już wiem, że to będzie mój keystone. Nice. Nice!
Speaker of the Dead makes it so that tormented spirits can possess you rather than possessing monsters, boosting your stats instead.
Okej.
While possessed, you can touch monsters just like a spirit can, making them stronger and more rewarding. It's kind of getting silly at this point, isn't it? Blight is like a tower defense minigame inside Path of Exile. The Cassia's Pride keystone
Blight
makes
monster,
it so
yeah.
that Blight monsters take significantly less damage from players and significantly more damage from Blight towers.
A,
This
okej,
basically
dobra.
lets you go all in playing like an actual
Super.
tower defense
Ej,
game.
to jest fajne akurat, nie?
Because
Też.
we can. Lucid Dreams makes it so that Val's side areas in your maps are no longer corrupted, meaning that you can use currency items to change their mods.
Nice! W
That's
końcu
right. When you encounter a
Valside
area, the keystone lets you craft it.
What? W końcu po tylu latach Valside Areas będzie przydatne, użyteczne. What?
We've improved reward outcomes and we've made the downside mods a bit more punishing, just to make it interesting if you try to go for the good outcomes. You may also rarely encounter a unique Val side area.
Okej.
Destructive play makes it so that the Maven will summon between
Mi cały czas jeszcze brakuje, żeby mody z mapy wpływały też na Valside.
This keystone is
Nie
analogous to the
zdążyłem.
Eldritch Altar keystones that make those influences more difficult but more rewarding. There are
Nie
another
zdążyłem
11
niestety
new
zobaczyć.
keystones that we'll reveal over the next few weeks. Together,
Okay.
these 16 keystones mean that regardless of how you enjoy your maps, you'll have plenty of new ways to play Path of Exile's endgame in this expansion. And I should note, in the initial draft of the keynote, I painstakingly went through every single keystone. It took like 10 minutes. We'll put them in the news to save you some time here.
Okay.
In the Trial of the Ancestors expansion, we're shifting Path of Exile's metagame in several ways. The first is by introducing 14 new support gems, which are designed to take existing categories of skills and provide entirely new ways to play them.
No teraz
For
jestem
full
ciekawy.
information, check the final gem hovers when we post them in the next few weeks. Let's have a look at a handful of these support gems now.
Dawaj.
In Path of Exile, war cries usually buff your party but don't directly hurt monsters. The Corrupting Cry support gem turns war cries into damage-dealing skills by making them inflict corrupted blood on monsters affected by the war cry or by your attacks that it exerts.
Okej. Teraz z warcryami można grać.
The
Nieźle.
Returning Projectiles support gem causes projectiles from supported skills to return to you, piercing all targets but dealing a little less damage.
Caustic Arrow.
Example 2.
Blazing
The Fresh
Salvo.
Meat support gem causes
A nie,
minions
Blazing Salvo
created
nie.
by supported gems
Caustic Arrow mi zawsze brakuje, żeby uderzało mnie w centrum, że na mnie jak są potwory, żeby jeszcze dostawały.
The Flamewood support gem causes totems to trigger projectile mortars at enemies that hit them. This is particularly synergistic with totems that can taunt enemies.
Nie grałem totetami nigdy, przyznam szczerze.
The Sacrifice support gem works on spells that you either cast yourself or through totems. These spells now sacrifice a percentage of your current life or the totem's life to gain additional chaos damage based on how much life was sacrificed.
Oh, chaos damage. Why not?
The Frigid Bond support gem affects link skills and causes a cold mist to come over them. Enemies caught in the beam are killed and are dealt cold damage over time.
No w party play może ktoś z tego będzie korzystał, ale raczej mem, a nie skill.
Of both yourself and your link's ally. I mentioned it was going to get silly. The Locust Mine support gem looks OP and affects attack skills that use bows and wands. Instead of directly using the supported skill, you throw mines in an arc that use that skill for you, targeting your location when you detonate them. In addition to these gems, there are another 7 that we'll be revealing over the next few weeks. In addition to the 14 new support gems, our balance work for the Trial of the Ancestors involved us revamping 2 Ascendancy classes.
Ascendancy. No, ciekawe co teraz.
That you can specialize in as you play through Path of Exile's campaign. Each main character class has 3 Ascendancy classes available. In the last expansion, Crucible, we overhaul the Pathfinder and Saboteur. This time, it's the Guardian and Chieftain, which are specializations of the Templar and Marauders, respectively. While we were very happy with the theme of the Guardian, it was falling behind the power level and popularity of other Ascendancy classes. Our changes in this expansion have modernized the class and will present you with more relevant build opportunities than before. Brace yourself. Okay. Path of Exile 102. Harmony of Purpose can power up parties using link skills. Time of Need now completely cleanses and heals you every 4 seconds. Radiant and Unwavering Crusade both fully embrace the Holy Summoner theme by giving you access to some exciting new types of minions that are exclusive to this Ascendancy class. We have this picture on the announcement page, pathofexile.com/ancestor, for you to scrutinize. Next. While the Guardian's revamp was similar to that of the Pathfinder, the Chieftain has received the Saboteur treatment. To be honest, we were unhappy about many aspects of this Ascendancy class in its old form, and so we have completely redesigned it. You can play it now.
Akurat Chieftainem nie grałem, Berserkerem, nie Berserkerem, tylko... O Boże, ta trzecia klasa. Teraz jak Bonzonem grałem. Enemies again have 5% to explode. Mała szansa na explode, nie?
Alright, that's on the site too for you to check out. It's pretty powerful now. To celebrate the release of the Trial of the Ancestors, we'll be hosting a boss kill event. To enter, create a hardcore solo self-found character in the Ancestor League.
Nie jestem na tyle jebnięty, żeby uczestniczyć w takim wydarzeniu.
Note that unlike the last event we ran, this one is not a ruthless event. We'll post more information about the event and its prizes in the news before release. Best of luck to everyone. For the Ancestor Challenge League, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Shade and Disciple packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value and points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. These packs are only available for the duration of the Ancestor League and will leave the store forever when it ends. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect the character's power or progression in any way.
No to akurat tak, zawsze tak. Zawsze tak mają i MTX-y u nich są bardzo bezpieczne. Co teraz chorego wymyślili? Nearby monsters send it into a frenzy, and enemy deaths provide it with souls to feast upon. Okay. The Stygian waypoint shackles visitors to your hideout in chains, yourself included. These chains are just cosmetic though, and they break as soon as you move. It would supposedly be a gameplay advantage to be able to imprison people. The Ferryman's armor set is so full of trapped souls that some of them try to escape. Moving while wearing the boots will leave souls in your wake trying to break free. Fajny efekcik. Chyba najlepsze kroki do tej pory. Opens a gate to the Nether Realm when you approach. This prompted a lot of internal discussion about whether using Hellfire to heat your hideout is actually safe and practical. The demon-bound crafting bench allows you to enslave a malevolent entity to craft items for you. Be warned, it has a sharp tongue and will mock you mercilessly.
You chained me for such a paltry use.
Ale fajny efekt, to
The
przyznaję.
nebula character effect causes items you pick up to orbit you in an ethereal cloud of loot.
Jakby screen clutter był jeszcze za mały w tej
The
grze.
Disciple series of supporter packs also contain 6 exclusive microtransactions. Look at dog.
Look at dog.
I'm going to put that in the top pack. The Hero's Landing Finisher effect summons a marble statue
lubię.
from the heavens to execute unique monsters you defeat. You decide whether it's the sword or the huge lump of rock that actually kills them. The Bell Tower map device heralds the opening of a new map with a peal of bells. Start to run out of portals though, and it will reflect your desperate situation.
Okej.
This is fine. The
Wow.
cathedral armor set refracts light through your character, creating beautiful patterns on the ground around it. If your life gets low, it
To mu się
responds
udało.
in kind.
To było super. This is
The
fine.
Observer Diamond Flask summons a tentacled mass that fires its eye lasers at enemies you critically strike while the flask is active. Again, cosmetic. The Currency Orb Charge effect lets you pick from a number of different currency types to replace your charges with, as long as you've used that currency item anytime from today onwards. Some people... We have to store it in the database, right? Some people will show they can be part of the exclusive club of players who have actually used a Mirror of Calandra. This effect also causes your charges to display in town. So the theory is you go use your standard mirror, which we all have, right? The Faithful Hound
Super.
pet is a very good doggo, and it knows a few tricks.
Ja już jednego
You
psa
can
mam, tak
command
więc.
it to sit, roll over, or play dead.
Tak, mam psa w Path of
And
Exile.
yes, you can pet the dog.
No facet przynajmniej zna memy, nie? Yes, you can pet the dog.
These new packs are available right now at pathofexile.com/purchase, and purchases like these directly fund the ongoing development of Path of Exile 1 and 2. Meanwhile, the Lithomancer and Enchanter packs leave the store forever at the launch of Trial of the Ancestors. Now's your last chance to purchase them. There's some good stuff in those too. Thanks for your continued support.
No moi drodzy, dla mnie tak naprawdę Exilecon właśnie się zakończył, jeżeli mówimy o dniu dzisiejszym. Bardzo dużo informacji do pochłonięcia, zarówno jeżeli mówimy o Path of Exile 2, ale też i było parę obaw. Szczególnie jeżeli chodzi o sam typ rozgrywki, o ile tam czuć wszędzie Path of Exile, tak nie wiem, czy to się za bardzo zręcznościowe nie robi, ale z drugiej strony też bardzo dużo do wchłonięcia, szczególnie z tym nowym trybem do Path of Exile 1, przecież to będzie całkowicie nowa mechanika i tak naprawdę to wyglądało mega skomplikowanie, no przynajmniej na ten pierwszy rzut oka, nie? To była jakaś masakra. No ale to już za jakieś 3 tygodnie niecałe będziemy mogli sobie zasmakować.